you, and I haven't even started the recording, so oops. So I am going to just train from my heart, where you guys can see my face, my expression, and not screen share and just go to the slides. So I want you to have a pen and paper and be ready to take notes, because the things that you hear that are meant for you to help you in achieving this amazing dream, I want you to write down. I think that, you know, some people say, hey, I'm not a great note taker. I can't keep up. Natalie, you talk super, super fast. That's totally fine. Whatever stands out that jumps out at you, great. I can also send the recording of this webinar. So if you want to listen to it again, or you want to listen to it a couple of times, I'm totally fine with that too. But have a notebook, because the things that jump out to you at this training live are going to be the things that you're really meant to hear today. So you might be here today completely broke, wanting to make more money, having no idea how the dream trip's going to become a reality. You could be already drowning in tons of debt. Girl, I can hear you. I've been there too. I've been dreaming of going on a vacation, but staring at my credit card and it's not exactly cooperating. Some have enormous big dreams of things that you've created. Maybe you already have a vision board even prior to creating, you know, adding this trip to it, and you're completely sick and tired of it not coming true. So amen if you have one and it's staring back at you and you're going, I'm so sick and tired of not crossing off any of those things. I'm about to slap my dream board upside the face, you know. I definitely think that that can be a hard place to be. And I've kind of been there too, where I feel like I've stalled out and, you know, I'm not getting to check off some of those things. And I start questioning, is that too big? Is that never going to happen for me? I mean, I was always taught to dream big, but like, come on, reality is I'm never going to have that house or whatever. And so then I start playing small, and I almost want to hide it. It's like one time I moved it from a part of my house where everybody could see it to a part where nobody could see it, because I wanted everybody to stop seeing that those were my dreams, because I almost wanted to shrink them and make them something more attainable. So that might be you too. You could be just working your absolute tail off. Maybe you have one job, two jobs. I know we have single moms. We have married people whose husbands work, you know, all the time. And so they're trying to create a business, and they feel like they don't have enough time, and they feel like they're drowning with not enough time or not enough ability to make this happen. I know all those things. I've been through all of those situations. I know also too, sometimes you yo-yo back and forth between maybe getting to where you want to go and achieving something, but then all of a sudden it going away, and then you start questioning yourself. And so I kind of call entrepreneurship like a big roller coaster. I don't know if any of you guys have read that book by Darren Hardy, but it's a great depiction of my life and the cycles of going through many businesses, you know, even before turning 30, of times when things were really, really good and I was super excited and hard work had paid off. And then there was times where I was working as hard as I possibly could and I wasn't seeing any increase. And I was getting more frustrated and I was getting sucked into a deeper hole. So, but overall, I have to say, I've been a pretty successful entrepreneur for the last 12 years. So through the highs and lows, the secret is to get back up again and go after what you want. Never quit dreaming, never give up, never listen to somebody say, hey, that completely failed, so you're a failure. No, you get back up and you say, hey, maybe that was a failure, but nothing's going to stop me, and my dreams are still my dreams, and my life's not over, and you keep going. That was actually something that my husband and I were talking about just this morning at brunch, is how life, you know, is short in an essence, but it's long in an essence, and you never run out of chances where you can go create the life that you want. As long as you wake up with another breath and another day, you can do that. So I've built 4 businesses so far from startup. Most recently, I have a multi-million-dollar business from home in the relationship marketing industry. Just in the last 8 months, decided to start my own coaching and consulting. And you know, before that, had already mentored hundreds and hundreds of people to create, you know, an income stream that's self-created by them. That's definitely my passion. But in the last 6-7 months, I've worked solely with entrepreneurs who are trying to juggle life and a business. Some people say, Natalie, are you a life coach? And I kind of laugh because I used to think a life coach was something that sounded really stupid. And now I know by serving many women and seeing the life-changing transformation they make by being supported by someone who knows where they've been and they know how to get from where they are to unstuck and where they want to go, and then being able to support clients in doing that. I'm like, I don't care what you call me, life coach, business coach, success coach, ding dong. It really doesn't matter to me, but as long as people are seeing results and achieving things that they want to in life, that's my number one passion as far as business goes. But my number one passion in life is being a wife and mom to my family. That always comes second to my relationship with the Lord. And so I try to keep my priorities very in line, and it's God, family, and then my business, and then helping people in their other businesses. And then I have a little bit of fun on the side from that, doing cheer mom things and crafting and things like that. But that's definitely how I decide how to spend my time to live out my passions effectively. So one of the things that I do is incorporate free trainings like this, where I help people within my network or people that know me learn how to take their business and life to the next level. And one of those really passionate areas of that is money, because everything takes money, and every woman's afraid to say, hey, I want to make more money because I want to do this. And they start feeling guilty to say that rich people or having a lot of money is like selfish or it's not good or whatever. And all that's BS, because every single one of my clients that I've supported, from not making exactly what they wanted to making a little bit more, do beautiful things with the money that they make. They bless their family, they bless their communities, they bless so many people around them with their resources and finances. So we want to find the specific things that are holding you back, the things that have made you struggle for months or years or your lifetime up until this point where you can really break through. But definitely the number one question I hear in regards to money is, how do I make more money? Or how am I going to make this money from the trip? And then they start saying, well, I really just want to be successful, or I just really want my kids to see me, succeed. And everybody's afraid to use the word money and just say, really, why I'm doing this is I want to make more money. And I have a list full of things that I'd like to accomplish. I'd love to be able to, go to this store and buy what I want to and not freak out about looking at my credit card statement, or I want to go on this trip. And if my kid wants the $14 balloon at Disneyland, so be it. They're going to get it. Because I remember, or Disney World, I remember a trip when we went to Disneyland and we were in a very scarcity mindset. We were like, woo, we're at Disney. But it was like, hope the credit card goes through when we go to get like one hot dog that we're going to share. And then I had another trip experience when we went to Disney World where it was completely different, because we'd shifted our money story, our mindset. We disciplined ourselves to work our business differently. We got out of our own head with our excuses and the negative limiting beliefs we've been telling ourselves. And I remember going into the park one day and buying a $14 balloon, and then going in the next day and my husband saying, we should have taken the air out of the balloon last night and just taken the one back in the park and blew it up. And I looked at him and I'm like, you got the wrong thinking, buddy. That was our scarcity mindset that left us poor and left us stressed out about how much the hot dogs were at Disneyland. We're different now. We think differently. And so I want to help you guys with how to make those mindset shifts and how to really get unstuck to where you can make more money month after month after month. Removing money blocks and the things that trigger your scarcity mindset is how you avoid stress around money. It's how you avoid, playing small, going, oh, I dreamed up this big trip, but it's probably never going to happen. Well, it's probably never going to happen because you just said it. And so a lot of it's around your seeking, it's around your thoughts, and it's really how you can live a happy, successful life all at the same time without doing things that are holding you back. So make sure and stay to the end, because those of you guys who submitted your videos, I'm going to be giving away the free entrance into my live group program I'm running, and then a couple of discounted ones. So I want to read you guys a quote from Mike Dooley. It says, there are only 3 things that can make your dreams come true. I'm going to say this again. There's only 3 things that you can do to make your dreams come true. And it's your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So you guys need to write that down. The 3 things that make your dreams come true aren't an opportunity. It's not getting lucky. It's not because of what somebody's going to do for you. It's your thoughts, your words, and your actions make your own dreams come true. And that's something that I live by. It's something that I want to teach my children. And I want them to know the day I leave this earth, it was because of my mom's thoughts, words, and actions that created our dream come true. And I wanted them to know about the trip that we just took. I want to know about the next trip that we're going to take, that I didn't thank anybody else. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Nobody can hold you back. Nobody can ruin your opportunity. You created every single day by your thoughts, words, and actions. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the background of my story, because I think it helps set up the money mindset story and kind of what we're going to share today. So I bought my first business when I was 18. 5 years later, I sold it when I was pregnant with my first baby. And I'd had a lot of success in those first 5 years of my life. And so I didn't ever really think that life could get harder than that. I feel like I'd worked myself out of learning the lessons and things like that. So 5 years in, I thought, okay, I'm pretty set. We're going to have a good life. My husband's successful. I've been successful. I, didn't go to college, didn't waste any time on the path that was going to take me where I wanted to go. But whenever I got home with my first baby, I started feeling like I was full of guilt. I was supposed to be happy. I was supposed to be being a stay-at-home mom that was like the dream come true. And instead, I was feeling like I was a total has-been. I didn't exactly know who I was. One income left us not being able to, buy a shirt even at Target. My husband was like asking for the receipt, counting every single penny because we were living on one income. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I remember breaking down one day and I'm like, something's gotta give. Like, I'll go do anything to get us out of where we are because of the fights and everything that was creating. But I really felt most of all that I wasn't being my best. I felt like I was raising, even though my daughter was only, less than 6 months old, I felt like I was raising a child that was going to do what I did, not what I said to do. And I felt like I was telling my husband what to do to go help us and bring us out of where we were at instead of living it myself. And so that's when I woke up one day. It was just like, okay, what am I going to do? And then to top it off, about a week later, my husband loses his job. So here we are 2 days before Christmas on my husband's birthday. He has no job. We have no money in the bank. We don't have things bought for, Christmas. And I was like, I don't know how it could get any worse, that this is the low of the low. Like, why is this happening to me? And I started feeling these, feelings of like, oh, poor me. Why does this happen? I was getting mad at him, resentful. And at the end of that situation, I quickly made the decision to completely suck it up, change our story. Like, life wasn't over. I wasn't a victim of anything. People lose their jobs all the time, and they don't just, sit there and wallow around in their own, self-misery. So I was tired of struggling, and I decided I was going to change it. And so, I jumped into starting, my own business again. And we were maxed out. There really, really, truly was no money. So the opportunity in relationship marketing was about the only thing that I could do, because starting another business like I had before just wasn't in the stars at that point. Even knowing that maybe I wanted to do something else like that later, I was like, we need to make some money and we need to make it fast. So I had tons of fears, doubts. I didn't know who I was going to talk to, didn't know where it was going to come. But ended up earning $100,000 in that company in our first year. Only reason why that was is because I made a decision in my mind that that's the amount of money we needed to get out of where we were. And it was all mindset. I thought, if it's possible for somebody else, it's possible for me. And I wasn't caring what anybody else thought of it. I wasn't caring if this person liked me or we weren't going to be friends anymore, if this happened. I mean, nothing mattered except creating this goal for my family. So about 26 months into that, retired my husband fully from his job that he had gotten back. And now looking, I guess it's been over 3.5 years later, my absolute passion is helping people all around the world not settle for a normal life, not settle for the life that, you know, somebody says they're going to have because of where they came from or where their background is, or, you know, if they live in a small town or a big town or anything, but helping people discover the greatness that lies within them, discovering that something big is meant for them and that anything is possible. And then kick themselves out of their way and their, you know, sucky thinking, you know, excuse my language, but get out of their own way so they can live a happier, healthier, wealthier life than they've ever really had before. So that's what, you know, me talking about these money secrets are. It's very simple, but it's not easy at all. I personally, even where I'm at today, work on my money story, my money mindset every day. I do money meditations. I'm reading books about, you know, finances and the law of attraction and the way that, you know, what we think about in our life, we manifest. And so the one thing that I can say will change your life forever if you take heart the information that I'm sharing with you today is that you can have enough money for all of your desires. People say, oh, Natalie, I can't work with you as a coach, but I would love to. Well, quit telling yourself that. If you want to hire a coach, me or anybody else, you will have the money to do that as long as you allow yourself to know that anything's possible for you. Sometimes it's a house. Sometimes it's so many things. People say, oh, I just don't have the money to, you know, eat healthy food. Like, you know, we really have to do Taco Bell. And like, no, there's really, really ways that are able to eat healthy food that are just as resourceful. Aldi now has amazing fruit that is, you know, a fourth of the cost of the typical grocery store. So, rewiring the way that you think and quit giving yourself excuses. So I like to call that eliminate stinking thinking. So if there's one secret to becoming a money magnet, creating this dream trip for your family, it is completely eliminate thinking that it's not possible for you or that you won't be able to do it or that somebody else can do it and they're more worthy or talented or anything. All that's lies. So let me explain. Excuse me. If you keep thinking about what you don't like about your life or what you don't want, then that's all you'll ever have. I'm going to say that again too. If you keep thinking about what you don't like about your life or what you don't want, that's what you'll always have. If you start focusing on what you do want and you start thinking about what is possible and you think about that as if it were manifested in your life, then all of a sudden you'll have it. And some people say to me, that's a little bit woo-woo, that's cheesy, I live in the real world, hard work, make a paycheck. And then I'm like, well, then don't listen to me and work hard and make your same paycheck forever. Like, if that's your choice, if that's the way that you want to think, then that's what you'll be doing forever. So I want to give you guys a quick analogy. So stop right now, whatever you do, don't think about what I'm about to describe, okay? Erase your mind. I'm going to tell you, but don't think about it, okay? It's an 11-foot tall pink elephant with huge white tusks wearing big black sunglasses. He has on a blue and yellow polka dot tankini. Okay, right? Nobody's thinking about the elephant, right? No, that's bogus. When I tell you not to think about something, but then describe it out, that's exactly what you're thinking about. The pink elephant, the glasses, the tankini. So our subconscious mind is incredibly powerful. When somebody tells you not to do something, that's all of a sudden what you want to do. It's like teenagers. You know, parents tell them, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Now they're all like, what would it be like to sneak out? Or what would it be like to, you know, go do this? And it's all about what you're planting in those seeds in your mind. You're telling somebody not what to do, but then all of a sudden it's what they're doing. So I also want to read this quote from Jen Sincero. She wrote the book, You Are a Badass. And I'm not a big cusser and I don't like words like that, but it's a phenomenal book. So you create your reality. You've spent a lifetime creating the reality you presently exist in based largely on false limiting beliefs. When you decide to rewire your beliefs and go for what's truly in your heart, you better believe it feels like the world's conspiring against you. Keep going. And I am an advocate of that quote. I can tell you time and time again in my own life and working with clients, when they make a decision to get over themselves, completely reprogram the way they think about money, the way they think about their success. All of a sudden, everything around them is just closing in. Their husband's pissed off at what they're doing and what they're saying, and they're like attacking them, going, that's bogus. I don't know who told you that. Like, come back to reality. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's a close girlfriend of yours. Literally, this happened to one of my clients just this week. Her mom came and stayed with her for the week. She's grown tremendously over the last 4 months, completely transformed her family's life, her money story. She's happier than ever, totally in aligned with her purpose. She's just made phenomenal progress in her life. And her mom's like super worried about her the whole time she's there. She's trying to bring her back down, bring her back down, bring her back down to like sameness and security. And she was totally unhappy there and ready to go soar in her life. And everybody's trying to take hold of you. You can call it the devil, you can call it whatever, that, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and going to create this life that you really, truly want that's in your heart, that the world will conspire against you and it'll seem almost impossible. Then that's when you have to wake up and you go, it's my dream. This trip is going to happen because of me. I'm not going to listen to anybody else if they think it's possible or they think it's dumb or they think it's not what I should spend the money on or whatever, because everybody will try to tell you what to do. So also know your mind talks to you all day long. You cannot control it. So if any of you guys know where the switch is, left ear, right ear, to like turn your brain off and not think and not talk to you, please let me know in the chat box how to do that. But I don't think it's possible. Our minds think constantly all day long, and they say things like, I'll never have enough money for that. I'm never going to get this promotion. If I were skinny, I would make more money. Or if I was skinnier, then I would have more friends. Or I would be able to wear that and people would like me more. I'm not worthy of the life that I really want. You know, so-and-so deserves it more than me. My past will always keep me where I'm at. You know, that person who's had that super difficult childhood, or they came from that small town, they're like, no, I can't, nobody from my town goes and does things like that. That's somebody else. That's not for me. Those stars weren't aligned for me. Also too, it's just one problem after another for me. Just as soon as I start doing good, I'm going to get sick. Or just as soon as I get there, I'm going to hurt myself. You know, people's minds are telling themselves that, and then all of a sudden that's what happens. You know, I'll never get ahead. You know, I just can't save money no matter what. Like my car breaks down as soon as I get my bills paid, and I could have had the money for the trip, then all of a sudden my car blows up. It's like, you're talking about that before that even happens. You're speaking bad things over your life because of past things. So I could totally go on and on for hours, and it wouldn't be very exciting to hear about all those things, but yet that's what our minds are telling us incessantly all day long. So I want you to be aware of this truth. I'm going to slow down so you guys can write it too. And it says, our thoughts become our words. Our words become our actions. Our actions become our habits, and our habits become our reality. So now I'll say it quickly. Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become reality. So if I were to skip all those other things because they happen automatically, our thoughts are our reality. So whatever you're thinking is possible for you, or your thinking is going to happen to you, then that's what is. So you determine your whole path based on what you're telling yourself today. So the thing that the test that I always ask myself is, what I'm thinking about, do I want it to be my reality? So just the other day, this came up to me. It's something that I exercise every single day in my life. I was about to say, which means I was thinking it, because our thoughts become our words. I was about to say, it was right before we went on the trip, and I was sitting in my office and I had a million things to do before I needed to leave. I mean, I was behind, quote unquote, okay? And I had the opportunity to say, I always do this to myself. I pack in way too much before I'm going on a trip, and I get super behind, and then I get stressed out, and I never have enough time to do it all. That's what I was about to say. But I stopped myself and I thought, no, I'm not going to let myself go there. I'm going to say right now, put it out into the universe, I have plenty of time to do everything I need to get everything done before I go on the trip to where I can enjoy it stress-free. And that's what I said out loud. And somebody was standing next to me and I just started laughing because I was like, I was about to say what I would have said had I not been consciously, intentionally focusing on my mindset, my words, and then that turned into my reality and my emotions and then really the outcome of what happened. And truth of the matter is I got it all done. I went to bed at a decent time and everything was fine. But if I had said the other thing, then that would have been the result. I literally would not have had time and I would have dropped the ball on a lot of things right there at the end. So to change your reality right now, you have to simply change your thoughts. And that sounds super easy, but it's totally not. So nobody beat up on themselves like, oh, this is just a super simple thing. I'm just going to change my thoughts. It's the hardest thing that I think any human can possibly ever do because we've been programmed for years and years and years and years hearing negative from other people. So I don't even think it's 100% your fault. Like everyone's been that way to you from the time that you were little. The human brain is wired in a negative way. So it goes all the way back to like your dad, your mom, your dad's dad, your mom's mom. And that's why money story becomes such an important thing because all of a sudden you think, oh, I can't save money. Oh, well, my parents don't save money well. Well, no one in any of my family has ever really been able to save that much money. And that's why we've never been successful and we've never owned big businesses or we've never invested in the right thing and become really wealthy is because we're not savers or something like that. And whether you would say it out loud or you just think it subconsciously, I call this the 500-year-old mind. The way that you think is ingrained in your head from generations of people who you've surrounded yourself with. Have any of you guys, nod your head if you've ever heard the saying, you become the 5 people you surround yourself with. Most everybody has. But you don't realize the depth of what they're creating around your success mindset and your money story because we're listening to somebody who's never been an entrepreneur, who's like our sister, who's been a nurse for the last 37 years, talk about the way that she talks about money and her success and never being able to get ahead. And no matter what she does, she's never going to make more. And then this, and she's never going to have in the house what she wants, and blah, 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 blah. And it's always flooding in our ears. And then all of a sudden, what do we have? We have the 500-year-old mind impacted by people who aren't intentional. They're living just coasting along, sameness, security. And so you're hearing things from them like money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are lucky, that's never going to happen for you, people from here that doesn't happen for, or whatever they're saying. And then that's starting to really truly form your opinions. And then when you kind of break out of that, you get the attack from those people on you. And then all of a sudden you're just like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe all this stuff that I heard from this Natalie Sorensen girl isn't for me because of where I live or what I do or where I'm at. And I'm here to tell you all of that is BS. So you can listen to me and create this life that you want. I'm not saying I'm the only one who knows it. There's many professionals and many successful people out there that will tell you that this is the way to go. So how do you fix it? Best way to retrain your mind is tell the negative jerk that's talking to you, which is yourself in your head, to just hush up, to get back out of your head. And the way to do that is I use affirmations. So when the thought comes in, like you never have enough time, you'll always be stressed out because, you overcommit yourself or whatever, then the affirmation is, I have enough time, talents, and resources for all the things that I have to do today, or all the things I need to do before I leave the trip, or whatever. And I automatically go from thought to affirmation. So that's one thing that I support a lot of my clients doing, and a lot of what I created in my group coaching program is really creating the affirmations to support your limiting beliefs. So you get to take control of your life, your dreams. You could go create the life that you want to live, because I believe now, all of you guys listening to this webinar right now, it's your time to do that, and that you can do that. So affirmations for me aren't something that I like. I know that there's really cute videos of young girls, like the little young girl who's in front of the mirror saying, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I think that's really, really cute and all, but I truly believe an affirmation is something that you're wired to tell yourself out loud when the thought comes into your mind. I don't think it's like a chanting ritual. One time I made an affirmation book and I put like 50 affirmations in it, and a lot of them were like things that I really didn't even believe. And I would go read through and start my day, and I would already finish the book going, I wish all that stuff was true. And then I would just go about my day. So I think affirmations now, sometimes people just need to create one and let that one affirmation serve them over and over again. One that I use a lot is I'm enough. When people attack me because of what they think I should have done or what they expected from me, the affirmation, instead of letting that affect me and get to me and throw me off and question everything about myself, I say, I am enough. I am enough. I'm not maybe what they want, but I am enough. I'm enough the way that I am. I cannot be perfect. I'm not everything to everybody, but I'm enough. So, that's an affirmation that I use constantly to let me not, get off onto this spin of, trying to please everybody and try to be everything for everybody. So I personally don't do affirmations that way. I would say, 3 to 4 affirmations. These aren't just statements, but really things that fire you up, and really starting out with something that you actually believe, and not like this, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Like, if you're so far from that, say, I'm a person that pays my bills on time every time. Like, that's an affirmation that will serve you so well, and you'll create that life. And then when that is attained, you change the affirmation to, I pay my bills ahead of time. I do, in every little increment, you increase your affirmation. You don't just lay in bed and think of these, wild desires that are like, someday, or I hope when I could, whatever, but you actually make it, something that you can tangibly accomplish in a short period of time. So, some of the affirmations that I have flipped is, I never have enough money. I used to tell myself, no matter how much money I make, it's never enough. And I would communicate this to my husband out loud. We would go back and forth, and it would be like, no matter how much we make, it's never enough. We spend what we make, and we always need more. And it would drive us crazy. So we would sit and argue about it. And so we shifted that affirmation into, I have enough money for all my desires. So then when we start having that conversation, like, how is it that we made this much this month and now we're here? I always end that conversation right then and there by saying, we have enough money for all of our desires. What can we do in the next 3 to 5 days to go hit a goal to make that happen, or get this increased, or whatever? So I could flip limiting beliefs to affirmations all day long. I could stay on here for like the next 2 hours and have you guys put in like what's coming into your head, and then flip it into something that would serve you. It's literally one of my favorite things. So here's like a blue sky example. I would love to stay in one of those glass bottom tiki huts, but that will never happen. I can't save enough money for any kind of awesome vacation. Okay, so that's something that I heard people say. And so the shift or affirmation would be that I am 100% sure that thousands of people stay in glass bottom huts every year, and I know I will be one of them. Okay, so that's not putting a time date on it or saying that, I'm going to do this by this time, because that might not be reality just yet. But the affirmation that I'll never be able to be one of those, like, take a look and go, wow, if they have them in Bora Bora, Tahiti, all these different places, and every time I see a picture of it, there's like 14 of them, they don't sit empty year round. Somebody goes and travels to those. And you know who it is? The person who thinks they can. The person who's putting out into the universe that they want to. So I'm going to just ramble on some general affirmations that I support my clients in sharing. And one of them is, I love and accept myself unconditionally. I fully love and accept myself unconditionally. I approve of myself, and I feel great about myself every day. I radiate love and respect. In return, I get love and respect. I am well loved and respected. I am cultured and wise, but yet humble. I have high self-esteem that enables me to respect others and beget respect in return. I'm free to make my own choices and decisions. I'm unique. I'm special. I'm worthy. I have high self-esteem that allows me to accept compliments easy and also freely give compliments to others. I accept others as they are, and in turn they accept me. It matters little what others say to me. It matters how I react and what I believe. I deserve all that is good, and I release any need for misery and suffering. I'm solution-minded. Any problem that comes up in life is solvable. One of my favorite affirmations one of my clients says is I'm a master of all things related to money. And it was somebody that was like not loving, ever checking in on her money. She loved having her husband just worry about it. And she was like, I just spend it. I don't worry about anything else. And so she reformed hers to, I'm a master of all things money. And so she would wake up and she would tell herself that, to where she would look at the money and she would figure out ways to make more money, and she would figure out ways to, you know, spend money wisely and not just spend whatever she had. So I could go on and on with affirmations, but I definitely want to give enough time for our drawings. So I want you guys to know, like I said, this is completely not easy. I don't think growth is for weenies. I don't think that these dream trips are for, you know, amazing entrepreneurs like you guys who just think that it's going to happen without being intentional. So I really, really, truly want you to not think that this is fluff or like, okay, Natalie's whole training was change the way you think, whatever. Like, I don't even get it. But this is like an actual realistic thing that I have used to create and manifest dream things to come true in my life. Many of my clients have too. And so one other mantra that I want to share with you guys is money flows freely and effortlessly to me. I actually have a screensaver on my phone and it says that like over and over again on repeat. Let me try to get to it. I had some text notifications. I have this all pink screen and it says money flows effortlessly to me. Money flows effortlessly to me. And I'm telling you what, when people pick up my phone and they're like, whose phone is this? Money flows to me. And I'm like, oh, it's mine. People are like, that's great. Like, why would you have that on there? I'm like, because it's one of my mantras. They're like, what's a mantra? I mean, most people have no idea what this is. And this law of attraction, this law of, you know, what you focus on and think about and what statements you use and what you flood your mind seeing. This is a subconscious thing that I look at. How many times do you pick up your phone and go to your screensaver to unlock it every single day? I'm rewiring my subconscious to know that money flows effortlessly through me, because one of my limiting beliefs is it's really hard to make a lot of money. It's really, really hard. You're going to have to work harder if you want to make more. That is a limiting belief around money. So when I dug in and learned a lot about my money story, I realized as a hardworking entrepreneur, a hardworking little kid, had worked since I was 15 years old, loved working, but I always thought it was going to be hard. Well, then it was. And when all of a sudden I started focusing my mantra on money flows through me to me effortlessly, it doesn't mean that I don't focus on how to do that or I don't put effort in, but I believe that it comes to me easily, as opposed to it's always going to be harder than me. I have to outwork anybody. I'm not lucky like anybody else. I've got to work super, super hard to get ahead. And so I don't want you to misread that by like, oh, I'm super lazy and I think money just falls from the sky, because anyone who knows me well knows that I'm the furthest thing from lazy. There's not many moments where I just that I sit around and don't do anything. But I do want you to know that the exact thing that you need to do to never again worry about having enough of what you want in your life is change the way that you think. So I I don't know, why all of you guys are here other than the fact that I know you guys did the challenge, and at the end of the challenge, I said, jump on this webinar and I'll give you guys some of my secrets to making this dream come true for you. But I do want to tell you that to dig deep, the whole reason I've created this live group coaching program is so you can really take all this information, dig deep, figure out really what's been holding you back. Figure out what your subconscious mind is actually really telling you. And people say to me, oh, well, I want the secrets, like the fast track. I want the steps to success, Natalie. And I'm like, I'm giving it to you. I'm going to give it to you the very best way that I know possible, because when you change the way you think, it changes everything. Success truly comes from the mind. And I know that every human being and every woman on, I think it's all women, on this call today can completely transform their money story. They can completely make this single trip a reality for their family, and so many more. Trip after trip, whatever it is that you want for your family in their life is possible. And your bank account can truly be transformed in a really short period of time. So I talked to people about this group coaching program, and I had the date set as actually this weekend to close the doors for the program, and I couldn't sleep for a couple of nights. I was like, no, I haven't shared my heart. I haven't shared the stories with enough people to create who I know is meant for this. And so that's another reason why I wanted to share this information again, is because I really know that there's a certain number of people and certain people that I know are meant to be in this program. I know that I love working with my clients super closely and getting to know them and getting to know their story. And so I actually invited somebody to jump on the phone who has completed my program. She has a phenomenal story because I don't know if she'll be able to 100% relate to your exact story and where you're at. But she has an incredible one, and you can definitely relate to some part of her story, whether it be fear, finances, whatever. But she's made a huge shift in her life. She'd been I'm not going to steal her story, but she'd been in her career doing the same things for a really long time. And she was super sick and tired of it. And she had no idea exactly how to change it, but she thought, I think this might be it. So she took her leap of faith. So I'm actually going to jump out of the way and unmute her. She actually had a meeting today, and so I just want to say thank you for her jumping out and committing to get to be on to share with you guys today. So I just want to introduce to everybody Deirdre Clement. Deirdre, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
The National Council.
Oh my, I have something going on in my computer. 1 second.
And thousands of other paid, educational, sports.
Wow, that's cool. Background check for me to become chair coach of football team. Sorry, you guys. Okay, now talk. Let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Hi, I'm Deirdre, and I've listened to everything Natalie's saying, and I found Natalie on Facebook, and I just loved her energy and everything about her family, everything that was going on with her. And I work for the state of Connecticut. I have been there for 20 years, court reporter. And when I started with Natalie, my financial situation was really bad. Divorced and took on all the debt and everything. But when I started with Natalie, I said, all right, I'm going to go with this. And we started with the affirmations. And I'm like, all right, not really sure how this is going to go. But I went along with it. And I'm telling you, this stuff really works. The mindset, the whole thing. When I first started with Natalie, me and my girlfriends, a few of us were turning 55 all in the same month. And they were planning a trip to Mexico. And I couldn't afford to go. And all I told them was, you guys, I don't have enough vacation time. I can't go. So when I was talking with Natalie, she told me, you just put it out there to the universe that you couldn't afford it. So again, we were talking, my mother and I, were talking, she wanted to go back to Ireland. It'll be the last time she ever goes back to see family. She's getting up in age. So my sister can well afford it. And I'm like talking with Natalie, and I said, I'm going. So I hope you can see behind me, I purposely saw the doors of Ireland. These are the doors of Ireland. I am going to Ireland for 20 days with my mom, my sister. I had that money with Natalie. I mean, I did the affirmations. I had used her affirmations she had, and I'm telling you, within 6 weeks, maybe even less, I had $6,700 in my account. It was just, everything was manifesting itself. Things started, doors were opening, things started showing up. And I was able to pay for my trip. And it's a big thing because, you know, I'll be able to see where my mom grew up, my dad, and everything. And if it wasn't for taking this course, I would not be going to Ireland. I'd be sitting back here watching pictures of my sister and my mom going. And to this day, after 6 months with Natalie, I mean, I texted her the other day to let her know it's still flowing in. The money's still flowing in. The universe is working. With Natalie, I found my dream that I've wanted to do. We came out and I've been working on this for the past 4 months, and I put in my retirement papers last week for work. December 1st, I will be retiring from the state of Connecticut. And, you know, people say to me, everybody says, oh my God, how are you going to do that? You're only 55. What are you going to do? I told them, don't worry about it. It's covered. I know I'm going to make it, and I'm not worried. I'm already planning to rent a house down in Florida. I'm already looking for the whole month of January to get out of Connecticut with the weather. And I'm going to take my mother down, get her out of the weather. And I'm started my business. Things are going really well. And if you have a second thought about taking this course, don't. Because, you know, I didn't have the money to start with her. I mean, I begged, borrowed, and steal to get this money. And I said that there was something about this that I had to do. The whole mindset was, I got to change. I need a change. And I needed somebody to push me. And this is where I got it from. And I'm so ever grateful to have taken this course. So again, don't think twice, you know, do what you know, if you think you don't have the money, you have the money. I thought it too, but I had the money. And you need to invest in yourself. It's you that you need to make better. And I am better. And, you know, in 4 weeks, I'm leaving. And I'm going to come back with my own Doors of Ireland for my own poster. So I just wanted to let you all know that I'm forever grateful for this course. And my life has changed. I mean, in a short 6 months, my life has changed so much. And I guess that's all.
Thank you so much. That was so amazing. And the one thing I want to share with you guys before I let her jump off is how I've seen her confidence grow. Her self-belief of who she is as a woman and what is possible for her life. She was sick and tired of settling. She was super bitter, driving to work an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, being too tired on the weekends to do what she wants to do, to see her kids, to, you know, whatever. And we dug really deep in the very beginning because she actually didn't care about going on the girls' trip to Cancun. Like, it was her masking, like, well, I don't get to do that because I don't ever have enough money for that and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't even in her heart that lit her up. But one day I said, if it could be anything, forget the Cancun. Like, I know it's nice to get out of cold weather Connecticut and go to Cancun, but if you could go anywhere, where would it be? And it took her like 3 seconds to answer it. Ireland. And I'm like, whoa, Ireland? And she was like, yeah, Ireland. Like, my family's from Ireland. My mom's been there and all this stuff. And so her telling me that was just incredible. But also, too, I wanted to share some of the limiting beliefs around Ireland and your mom getting to go and your sister was like, oh, my sister's so good with money. Her husband's real brilliant. He invests well and they've done so well and their house is paid off. They pay cash for cars. And it was all this mindset stuff. And I was like, well, why is that not you? Oh, well, I don't know. That's not how I've ever done. And I'm like, but how about you do what they do? Like why not? Well, and it's all because of this shift of saying, like, I'm that person too. I pay cash for my cars, or I can have a car that I want, or just whatever it is, allowing yourself to not let the people around you that have it or they have it good ever hold you down, but say, wow, it's kind of how I compare jealousy to a really good thing. Because in a way, Deirdre was jealous that her, and not bad, but just jealous that her sister had money, that they did well with money, that her that the husband was really smart with money. And you were sitting there going, I don't even have a husband. And like, poor me that I don't have anybody that's helping me with the finances and helping me invest in things that are wise and all that. And all of that was just limiting self-talk, because anything in your life was capable. All by yourself. You didn't need a man. You didn't need a husband. You didn't need a brother-in-law or anybody else. You just had to shift that thinking. And so to see you do that has been such an incredible thing. And every single time I think about your trip to Ireland, it lights me on fire. And I can't wait to see your own picture, Dora.
Right. And can I just say one thing? This trip, not one credit card was used for this trip. It's all in cash. Not one credit card.
Yay! And how does it feel? Have you ever gone on a trip that you used credit cards?
Yeah. And you come back and you're like, oh my God, now I got to pay for this. And I'm like, the trip is paid for, and the money in my bank account is all spending money. Again, I have $6,000 to go away and just spend money, and the trip is paid for and paid all cash, and we're even taking a private limousine to the airport.
I love it. See, living the luxury life because you made the choice to say that that was possible for you and that you were worthy of it. And that's an experience with your mom, all money aside, the experience with your mother, the last time that she can go into that country and that you get to witness every moment and every experience of that trip is going to be so magical. So I wanted you to share your story with everybody today, whether they are a part of the course or whether I get to see them out through supporting them and booking and them executing their dream trip. But if anything, just the inspiration to know that anything is so possible. So
possible.
And your dream trip is probably one of the most luxurious that I've ever heard about. So I can't wait for it to come all true and see it out. So thanks so much for sharing.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay, let's get her muted. So I want us to go to gallery view so I can see everybody and wave. Oh my goodness, I love the multicolored bookshelf back here in the bottom corner. Rory, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna unmute everybody. Does anybody have any questions about, I guess let me give you the details really quick. So the Money Mindset Makeover program that Deirdre's talking about that she completed, and you guys have heard some of the stories on that. It's a 6 weeks live group coaching. So we jump on Zooms like this with everybody who's in the course. And there's a weekly module workbook that you do tons of work. I'll say I'm not exactly easy on you. You have to commit yourself because this mindset shift is a not easy process. So a couple of the weeks, the ladies are like, Natalie, are you kidding me? Like, this is a lot. 1 second. Let me mute everybody again. But the you get the modules emailed to you each week. You do the week's work. There's a book that you read with each week. And then we jump on these live Zooms together. And they're interactive coaching. So you wave at me and say, hey, Natalie, I want to go next. And you talk about, maybe you have a question about the week's work, or maybe you're struggling with one thing specifically, or what would you do in this, or here's what's coming up for me all the time that's like holding me back and I don't know what to do with it. And then we work on it together, but we do it in a private live group where you guys get to learn from one another too, because something that's common for you is, probably universal, right? Deirdre, shake your head if you feel like you learned so much from the ladies also in the group.
So much.
Because you were struggling with those same exact things, or you were like, oh my gosh, that is so me, or I'm the same way. And so a lot of the coaching that goes on, it's not necessarily one-on-one, but it's universal parcel in the fact that you're like, oh, that happens to me sometimes, or that reminds me of something that I do, or whatever. And so that's a really, really cool thing. And you create this group that I create a live Facebook group. So that group stays up for you forever. And some of these celebratory moments that, you know, people's dreams coming true. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why. 1 second. So seeing some of these people's, you know, money stories change. We had a girl who like won something that was like worth $500, you know, that she was going to have to spend, and she won the credits, and everyone's like, whoa, like you're shifting your thinking about money. And so it's happening for you, and things are manifesting for you. And so this group of ladies really come together, and they bond quickly from kind of being vulnerable and opening up and talking about the things that they're having going on in their life. And some days you just get on and you're flat in tears because you're like, I just checked my bank account. Like, I really, really remember that, where she said, holy cow, this really works. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm, you know, investing hours and hours. I mean, I don't even know how long it took me. Probably, oh geez, I want to say 50 hours of work writing the content for the workbooks for you guys to work on your mind shift and dig deep within yourself to work on in the course. So anyway, so I wanted to give you the details on that. So $597 is the paid in full price. I also offered a weekly payment because some people, you know, get paid weekly, or they want to break it up between the 6 weeks. So that's also an option too. So you can see that on the sales page. So one person's going to get the course completely for free, and hopefully they're all on this live, because I put everyone's name who entered into the, I just have to put one more because I saw it pop up on my Facebook. So I'm trying to give everyone a fair shot. But so one person's going to get enrollment of the course completely for free. And then I'm going to draw 2 more names of people that I'm going to give a huge discount to the course too. So the coupon code is not ready for those 2. I'm going to have somebody on my team create that so we can get you enrolled in the course like within the next couple of days. Those of you guys who aren't one of the 3, I would still love to work with you. I still know that everybody's on here for a reason listening to this information. And so I would love to work with you in the group. And so you'll be able to go to that registration link, get signed up. And then we'll be closing doors on July 10th now. Also, too, if there's somebody who you want to share this with, I'll send you guys the recording to this webinar. If there's a friend, a family member, I know for me, I was like, it's almost like crack. When you start understanding this and this mindset, you're like trying to give it to all your friends, and they're like, I'm not hyped up on that. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. They're over here and they're stinking thinking, and it's like this cult bubble. So if you know that there's somebody that you're like, you know what, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to do this, but like, I need to do it with my mom or my sister or my best friend, or, you know, maybe somebody within your team or your neighbor or somebody that you're like, you know what, let's team up and do this together, just like workout or just like anything. It's really, really fun to commit yourself with somebody else. So if so, you can send in the link when I send this in out into the email or anything like that. So those are kind of the preface questions. So now I'll unmute everybody. And if anybody has questions, raise your hand, and we'll let you shout it out. Even people who are calling in online or over the phone will also be unmuted. So does anybody have any questions?
When would the course actually start, Natalie?
So we're going to do a welcome call several days after the cart closes. I don't have a specific time, but I'll do a welcome call. I love for everybody to get introduced, share their story, kind of open up and get to know one another. And then you'll get the initial week one work, and then we'll do the first live coaching call 1 week after that.
Okay.
Cool. I'm shaking up my names. Here's that little pink ball.
I don't know what that means.
Everyone's like, nope. Okay. So we have okay, so the first yeah, we have her on the phone. So Debbie is the winner of the entire course for free. She's the first name I drew. The second is Daphne. Yeah.
That's me. Hey.
And the third is Monica.
Which one?
Oh, we have two Monicas? No, I think we only have one.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, I'm feeling really generous. We're just going to do another one. Okay?
One
And
moment.
the last one's Mandy.
Yay!
Congrats to you guys who went through the promo. If there's anybody who you want to share the video with or anybody who you think you would love to do the course with, let's share it. I really, really, truly want to change lives. I want to see more people manifest stories like Deirdre's, more stories like my, Palm Springs, San Diego trip. I want all of you guys' dreams to come true. I kind of talk about money raining or money falling from the sky or whatever, but that's really, really, truly what this is all about. This is shifting everyone's deep, deep, subconsciously negative-rooted mindsets and turning it into this beautiful person that can go out and make anything happen. So thanks to you guys for jumping on live. I love you all. Can't wait to work with you inside the Money Mindset Makeover. And so I will see you all soon.
Thank you so much, Natalie.
Bye.
Bye.